I'm Louise Longson. This is a poem called How Rain Came, and it's in Messages to the World. This was in the ancient days. It was a time when the sun's rays were relentless, when the sea shrank and rivers dried. With the rictus grin of the desiccated dead, the earth opened its parched mouth wide. Gaping cracks, fields turning brown and flies buzzing around the fallen sheep, bloated and black. The wise man said, "We need a sacrifice. Virgin girls please our gods so much more than any boys. An unbroken hymen more satisfying than an unbroken voice." The heavens opened at his word, and his power flooded the halls of history, flowed through the doors of culture, putting women to the sword, burning on the pyre, tied to a stake, fate sealed in the walls of burial chambers, on the altars of higher gods, kept in cages, fed to dragons and sea beasts. All tragedies show that they bleed, time after time. After time has elapsed, the rituals have changed. Now the wise man's power is everywhere, can be used by anyone. You no longer need a shaman, nor to reason or a tone. All you need is a woman, on a street or in a house, alone. Later, you can guarantee the rain will always come.
Hello, it's Nicol Carter here, and this is the fourth take of me trying to do this video. My boyfriend's saying we're killing ourselves laughing, so my eyes have been crying with laughter. Anyway, so I hope this one goes okay. Obviously, you'll see it if it does. My poem Scunnered will be in the Dreich publication Bro and Gallus soon, hopefully. So thanks to Jack Caradoc and Dreich. So Scunnered, I wrote it in 2010. It's in my poetry book, Manana Attitude, and I recited at the Burns Night Poetry Slam at the National Library in Edinburgh in 2016. And didn't get very far with that, but never mind. So here it is, it's Scunnered. I dinna ken where my heed is gone. Some say I'm a disaffected youth, but all I ken is I'm scunnered. I cannae identify with my teacher when my family and friends speak a different tongue. Scots is what it is. Where's the shame in that? I'm no stupid, I'm no daft. It's just that the mealy mouthed mak me laugh. No, I'm no a racist, I'm no a bigot. I'm just proud of my heritage. I was brought up with pride. My ma and dad were the same. So gies a break, gies some slack. I'm as canny as the next gen. It's no intelligence I lack. Thanks, hope you like that. Bye.
Hello, I'm Susan Wilson, and I'm here to share with you two poems which feature in Dreich 3 Season 4. The first poem is called Count on You, and the second poem is called I Can't Believe That I'm 60. And I wrote the second poem during the 2020 lockdown, which happened to coincide with me being 60 years old. Not a good year to have your 60th birthday in. Anyway, this is the first poem. It's called Count on You. Blueberry bowl, lime-scaled kettle, freezer ice like whale meat. The flat smells your nostrils, a crusty breath, sucking kindness like a vacuum cleaner. Naked bulb, hidden switch, turn off the care. You mean well, he means liar. A sleaze at ease on an aging tongue. It likes warm lips. There's no air. Weak hands on a window. Smooth chest. Those long-fingered nipples. Double cream served in a space used over and over, like his audience. The wheelchair and the cane. Always. Applause. The blood drained from my neck. He saw you alone. You see him now. You step away. The blood will taste bitter. And this is I Can't Believe That I'm 60. kept on being 59 even when Christmas came, hanging cards on a string shortened from last year. It led into a new year, fresh with talk of newer years I might not see. With a mind in its original packaging, I'd rather hide behind tinted varifocals and their 2020 vision. All these years, the world has crept along beside me, changing like a slowly ripping cloth. There was only so much I could repair, so I dreamt of free prescriptions and a 60+ Oyster card. But would patience pay off after a breathtaking gift from the East? I've made it here at last. So dreams do come true, nightmares too. With an unused age-specific badge and the party postponed, I put on a mask, steam up my lenses and queue slowly for some toilet rolls, if they have any. Thank you for being my audience.
Humbling grandeur. A mark of exclamation in a minor town centre. A tower not tall, but considerably higher than it need be. 20 extra red brick layers nudged it heavenwards 7 decades ago, when people were wont to look higher. It covers a stairwell well beyond the last riser. It's topped with stones of cold grey grace, as are the roofs below, arced to mark a significant corner, judged suitable for the regional headquarters of Prudential Assurance in the 1940s. But around here today, all's descended to eye level and eye level. Tanning salons, gyms, massage parlours, fried food shacks, coarse signage, shouting, and hardly anyone now wishing to look up.
Hello, this is Diane Cockburn, and I'm going to read from Dreich 1. Hocus Pocus. Afterwards, they will report she burned white hot, and Mary will show as evidence the scorched arm where she was grasped. For now there is nowhere to hide from the cold messages. Mildew pepper spots forming on our faces. We're hearing words we do not want to hear. We're decoding, allowing the dead to bubble under our skins. We're making sense of coincidence, with vague memories of lilac gloves and a fondness for Earl Grey. Or was it orange pekoe? Oh, and the pale smell of almonds. Mary croaking, "Yes, that's Granny Nugent," before slumping foam-flecked onto the chenille. We're dipping our toes into terror treacle, and we love it. Consumed by curiosity, like cats purring fat beside an open grave, with the promise of something delicious. We take turns to terrify, scratching under the dining table. Edith hissing into someone's ear in a voice that's not her own. I'm noticing that patch of damp, which may be significant in the telling. Our fortunes laid out in lexicon. Unfortunately for Mary, the thing that got inside her will not leave her. Next morning, while we're giggling over toast and tea leaves, Mary cannot tell us. She's wearing lilac gloves, sipping orange pekoe.
Hey everyone, David Linklater here. I was delighted to have 3 poems published in Dreich, issue 3. Thanks to Jack for publishing the poems. I'm going to read 2 of them today. The first one is called The Hole. The finest are dug spontaneously. We fill our stories with them, so that one day their notions might take we stoop in shifts, turning the soil back bent and glorious. One evening, years ago, We decided to put one in the garden. Not defined by this world, we went to work. Each spadeful ate away the realities. The little blue chair was lowered. He brought up country after country. His was the image of the father tuning memories from dirt. Soon there would be Australia. I would dip my toe in and swirl it about. Mum smiled from the kitchen. The condensation of her love drew hearts on the window. Our family was so young. Now there are corners we can't turn from. A feast of peels on the ground. Time has plucked the green of its baby's head, cut down trees, planted strong, exquisite flowers. We have seen the root of the long summer. How far down we reached, I don't know. We've been digging that hole ever since. I could have sworn I heard it there. A call for dinner from the back door. Some devoted promise over a lost landscape. That was poem 1, The Hole. Now this second poem is also about a hole. A slightly different one. It's called Love Poem. You know you've met someone worth keeping when they're willing to put talcum powder on your chafing asshole. It must be love. A touch too much sweetness is sickly. Eyes can be so awfully closed in love. You'll find someone to break you in half if you're lucky. Pour water over the roots. You'll be out there smoothing your shape like a potter, cursing the brightness of day, making yourself so utterly driven to undo all strides and victories. But, like bone cut down, you'll mend thick, and one day, with some future self, you'll be in a caravan after a long walk in the country, the wind threatening its foundations, and you'll have to arch your back and pout your ass, spreading the cheeks so a fine white powder can be applied, and the hands applying it will be loving hands. The eyes seeing that part will be loving eyes. Laughter at the frailty of all, how we are constantly undercut by our own physicalities, will be a burst of loving laughter. Now, if that's too much sweetness, let me go there and make the bed. Cheers for listening. Enjoy your day. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.
Team Trump. The Blackwell, head of policy's domestic, says homosexuality is a transgression against God's law. The yoke of my transgressions is bound by his hand. The Flynn sings fear of Muslims as rational. He's the adviser. He secures the nation. From above hath he sent the fires. Sessions from Alabama is the eternal generalis, rejected by federal judges for colour crimes. These things I shall forever weep and die. The Ross, crowned king of bankruptcy, will sit in the chair of trade secretary. He hath made my strength to fall. Trump knows a beautiful woman is a nice thing, but after the first hour you need to talk to them. My children are desolate because the enemy prevailed. In a gold frame, a letter from the tricky Dicky. Displayed in the home, a letter from the tricky Dicky. Let all their wickedness come before thee. Stephen James Moore.
Hi, I'm Emma Lee, and I'm going to read one of my poems from the pop issue. And this is Creating Comfort Food to Taking Over Me. Chopping charge should be cathartic, but I'm empty. It won't behave, so I press play, catch my reflection in the splashback. Wonder if you're prepping dinner too. Heat the broth gently to a simmer. Add the chard and kale. I remember you're staring, avoiding eye contact, stammer. Add the nori, mix hot water with miso paste. I thought I'd done something wrong, awkward, but didn't know what. You were ill at ease. Stir in the miso paste. Slip in silken tofu. Taste and mix. I had to wait to get you alone. You had felt too much to talk. Steam softens the angles on my face, blurs into shared features. Your eyes, hazel flecks, my green, merge into us. Soup does its job, warms. The paper has pockmarks where pencil was used as a drum. Some words are boxed for emphasis. A flower is developing intricate layers of petals. The writer doesn't look able to contain stillness. He shifts, taps, sips water. The song's title is surrounded by a vague shape that might have started as a cloud, but the strokes have become bolder and more angular. So it now looks like the outline of a freight train, rhythmically clacking over tracks as the song takes off. Its writer leans towards the mic, waiting for the beat, and everything stills like an intake of breath that's held until the last syllable of the last word is a faint reverberation, because the lyrics in his voice are as compulsive as breathing. This one explores how a gothic rock lead vocalist was talking about how a lyric came about, and the lyric sounded like lying like a lily in the water. So the poem goes back to the original and what the lyric actually was. So this is Reality Bites. Lying like a lily in the water, sung as if girl or flower, euphuistic, lying like a lily in the water, dressed in white, pure, angelic, lying like a lily in the water, an Ophelia rising above grunge rock, lying like a laney in the water, full of reverb and feedback, lying like a laney in a wire, showing that anything with music, lying back a laney in a wire, grasped as potential lyric, lying back a laney in a wire, concerned, profound and romantic, lying back a laney and a wire.